The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said to his disciples, I still have many things to say to you, but they will be too much for you now. But when the Spirit of truth comes, he will lead you to the complete truth, since he will not be speaking as from himself, but will say only what he has learned, and he will tell you of the things to come. He will glorify me, since all he tells you will be taken from what is mine. Everything the Father has is mine. That is why I said, all he tells you will be taken from what is mine. The Gospel of the Lord. I have a very, very, very profound question that I want to ask you. Are you ready for the very, very profound question? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Facebook? No Facebook. How about the others? Do you have Facebook? For those who have Facebook, do you remember the time when you first opened an account? And the question that it asks you, what is your relationship status? So what's your relationship status? There are choices. If you open a Facebook account, you can be single, married, in a relationship, in a domestic relationship. What are the others? Divorced, separated, in a complicated relationship. You are in a complicated relationship. Did you see your wife's facial reaction? I can understand now why it's complicated. So, what kind of relationship are you in? With Facebook, it seems that relationship only operates if you have a partner, a wife, a husband, or a lover. But in reality, by virtue of our birth, we are already thrown in a relationship. We have our brothers and sisters, our parents, our pops and nuns. And as we progress in age, we realize we have our neighbors, our friends, our schoolmates, our workmates, our mates, our pub mates. We are thrown in a relationship. Even when we die, even when you're inside the casket, people who come realizes their relationship with you. So my question is, what kind of relationship are you in? And how does that relationship affect you as a person? Today we're celebrating the Holy Feast of the Feast of the Holy Trinity. If the Trinity opens a Facebook account, what kind of relationship status would you think the Trinity will put in? What? Complicated. Complicated? No.
Simple?
No. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. We know the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And we know their actions. The Father, the Creator. The Son, the Savior. The Holy Spirit, the Sanctifier. For us, it seems that each person has their own work. But in reality, the Trinity works as one. It's God who creates. It's God who saves. It's God who sanctifies, creates, saves, and sanctifies. Create. Do you remember the creation story? No. In Genesis, before the creation, what was there? What? Well, yes, God is a given. But before God said, let there be light, what was there? Darkness. What else? Void. Darkness and void. What else? Something that we're longing to have because it has not been raining. Water. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 2, there were three things happening. Before God said, let there be light, darkness, water, and strong wind. Can you imagine yourself standing on Newcastle water, not on the shoreline, but on top of the water, totally dark and strong wind? Will you love that? No. Because that's chaotic. Before God said, let there be light, there was chaos. And when God said, let there be light, God has placed order. And when God created the other stuff, God made things beautiful. By creation, there is order and beauty. And I ask you, in your relationship, is there order and beauty? Or it's just all chaos? Your wife seems to agree. Say, when God took the form of man, what was the most palpable reality that God was saving humanity? Except for the cross. What was Jesus doing? Except for Jesus turning water into wine. What other stuff did he do? What? Starts with the letter H. And it's not halitosis. Healing. When Jesus was saving humanity, he was healing. Healing the sick. Making the crippled walk, making the blind see, making the deaf, what's deaf? Mouth, ear. Deaf, hear. Jesus heals. In your relationship, is it a healing experience? Or is it just old wounds? Sanctifying grace. Not sanctifying grace. Sanctifier, the Holy Spirit. Remember the event when the Holy Spirit overshadowed the apostles? Where were they?
In Holi?
In what?
Holi?
Dressmaker? What? No, hiding. Why were they hiding? They were scared. Because the man that they followed was gone. The one who was making miracles, he was gone. The one followed by thousands of people, he was gone. And the reason why he was gone, because he was killed by the Jews, by the Sanhedrins. So, they hid themselves. They hid themselves. But when the Holy Spirit came, what happened to them? They went out and preached the gospel. Yes? I'll try to cut it short. Okay. Have you ever experienced depression? And that moment wherein you opened your door and left your cocoon to socialize with others? It's as if the apostles were depressed, scared and terrified and depressed. But when the Holy Spirit came, they were simply consoled and encouraged to get out of their shell, to get out of their fears, to get out of their terrifying experience and experience the world. In your relationships, Do you experience encouragement and consolation? Or are you terrified? Do you fear the face of your loved one? Or do you find consolation and encouragement at their faces? Today we celebrate the Feast of the Trinity, and Thomas Aquinas said that we participate in this divine relationship. Probably as a sign of our participation in this relationship, the better question for us is this: when people see us, when the people we are in relationship with, do they experience order and beauty? Do they experience healing? Do they experience encouragement and consolation? Because I think the invitation for us is to do what the Trinity has done, to be spaces of order, beauty, healing, and consolation.